welcome to this week's video. In this week's video I'm going to review the new UAD 64 Showtime plugin which has just come out. Now I was a bit disturbed when this first came out because I bought all of the other ones. I've got the Marshall, the Vox, the which is the other Fender one I've got one at the 55 Tweed, and I've got the Deluxe Reverb one. I thought, oh no, I've got to buy another one now to keep my collection complete. But they're giving it away for free until the end of October, which I couldn't believe. And I have to say, this is the kind of amp I really like. Now down here, I'm not sure if you can quite see it, I've actually got a 64 Vibreverb. It's the reissue, it's the hand-wired one, which has got all the mods on that Steve Ray Vaughan used, and I really like the sound of that amp. So this one that's come out is the most similar to that out of all the ones that UAD have brought out, even on the sort of previous versions that you could use within the console and everything. But I think these new generation of UAD plugins are fantastic. I love them. They've got the room control on them, and in some ways they're simpler. And they've got a nicer sort of preset setup with all keywords and stuff, which I really like. So I'm going to walk through this amplifier and show you. It's basically a recreation of the Showman head, which I think is an 80 or 85 watt head, which would have been blisteringly loud. It was the one that Dick Dale used and stuff. Doesn't have reverb on, but it's got tremolo on, and I believe that it's like a 2x12 speaker cabinet. Anyway, I've done a little track to kick the video off here. I did a bit of sort of rhythm stuff on the Strat, and I did some lead stuff with the 335, and the presets that I'm using on it are, hang on, I need to check. I'm using the dimed preset on the 335, and I'm using the bright and chimey one on the Strat, if you wanted to try and recreate those sounds. I just set a little track up with some a drum loop, and then I played some bass on it. So check out this track first. Before I go any further, this week's video is sponsored by Rocklock. Now, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you'll know that I've done a review on these Rocklock strap locks before, but they've sent me the new version. These are the Rocklock Pros. They sent me this new version, and unlike when I reviewed the last ones, I'd never used them before, these I now use all the time. They're on all my guitar straps, and I use them on every gig. I think they're absolutely fantastic, and I'm really pleased that they've sent me these new Pro ones to try. Now I think there's two reasons why they've sent me these new Pro ones. They did like my video before, and they know I use them, but I think it's probably because they know I've managed to do this in the past. There we are. I'm probably one of the few people that's got a video of them almost breaking their guitar because they didn't have strap locks. So these are the new ones, so let's open these up. I've not opened these ones up before, but obviously I do know how these work now. and they're very simple to use. Now, the upgrade they've done on these is they've now got this nice rubber seal on the back here. Not seal, but like a more rubbery finish to them to protect the finish of the guitar, which is great, because it was just hard plastic before, and they came with a little sticker you could put on them, but these have got it all built in. They've also re-engineered these to make them more durable and give you more grip, make them more secure. I've got my old ones here somewhere, which I just took off one of my straps so I could fit the new one. So this is the difference, and I can see that they've got this extra bit around the outside, and they do feel more chunky and durable than the old ones. Although the old ones are great, as I say, I've got them on all my straps, but I can definitely feel the difference. There's they've got a kind of more rubbery, tactile, is that the right word? More rubbery coating on the outside, which is great. So I'm going to show you how easy these are to fit on your straps. And I've taken these off. This is the strap for my 335, and I have a different strap for this because I need it a slightly different length. But the other difference, unlike all my other guitars, which is why I have to have a dedicated strap, is because of the way the strap button is on the rear of the heel, you need to face the strap lock the other way. But let me show you how easy these are to fit on. So you unscrew the little bit there, and as you see, it's got a metal insert. It's not just plastic on plastic. These are metal screws, and you just pop the screw through the strap hole and then screw the other part on, and just finger tight is all I've done on all my other ones, and they don't come off at all because you've got the strap. Yeah, that's solid there, I can't turn that. Right, let's put the one on the other end, and then I'll show you how easy it is to clip onto the guitar. This one, the back one, faces the same way as it does on all my other guitars because the strap button's in the same place. So you just got to make sure that you've got the big bit the right way around. So basically you'll put the strap knob into the bigger section, then it drops down into the smaller bit to hold it more securely. It's funny doing this because it was when I did the first ones I'd not used them before, but because I'm super familiar with these now, it's easier. So there we are. Let me get the guitar. All you have to do is you get the strap knob, and it's even on these. I've demonstrated it on this one because these are the kind of smallest, I guess they're vintage correct. This is a 59 custom shop reissue. They're the smallest, most worryingly useless strap knobs. I was using those little rubber ones that you put over the top of them until I got these, because I was just worried about the thing falling off. But with these, you just clip it on, there you go, it's going to come off, easy as that. And with that one, and I'm pleased with this one because unlike the other guitars, that really does rub against the sort of finish of the guitar, so having that rubber on there is really good. But there we go, that's not going anywhere. And to take them off, all you have to do is got those two levers either side, you just clip that and it comes off, easy as anything. And on my recent show I was swapping guitars, and the first one I did I found straps for each guitar, and I thought, you know what, I don't need to do that, these are so easy to take on and off. I just, well, apart from this guitar where I couldn't use the same strap because the thing faces the other way, on the Les Paul, the Strat Telecaster, I just swapped the same strap over. But there we go, easy as anything. So check these out, I'll put the link in the description. The new Rock Lock Pros, thoroughly recommended. So now let's go on to the walkthrough of some of the presets. I've done a little bit on the Les Paul so you can hear what it sounds like with humbuckers, and then I've gone through with it on the Strat. And what I think is great about this is, and it said it in some of the sort of blurb I read about the plug-in before I downloaded it and used it, that it does retain the quality of the guitar because it's not very driven. You really have to turn it right up to 10 for it to actually overdrive. You can really hear the difference of the guitars. It retains all those kind of characteristics which can get lost with the higher gain amp. So have a listen to this. I've gone through a little picture of me in the corner and a big one of the amps. You can see the different settings and all the settings on the preset. So check this out. Okay, let's start on the Les Paul. I'm going to start with the default preset that it comes with. And the great thing about these presets, these plugins, is that this amp, if you had this amp in a room, this would be absolutely deafening. Even if you just had it turned on. I've got, back here, you can't quite see it, I've got a 64 Vibroverb, which is similar era, well, obviously similar era because this is built in 64. That's the combo that Steve Ray Vaughan used, and it's got a 15-inch speaker in. It's got mods on it to make it break up at lower volume. They used one of the gain sections in it. He took one of the Caesar dias, took one of the gain sections from the other channel. So when you've got the mod switched in, you can't use the clean channel, but it disables the vibrato and gives you a bit more gain. It's also got a mod on it to give you a diode rectifier, which I'm not sure whether this one had, but it's similar to this amp. It's made me want to get that amp back out again. On my last gig I used that amp, but this is great because I love having this these plugins that you can really hear what the amp sounds like if you're able to drive it, which you never can on any gig these days. That's why you have to put pedals in front of them. So this is the default. So bright switch off, volume 4, treble 6, middle 5, bass 5. I don't have middle on that amp actually, it's just bass, I think. Yeah, it's just bass and treble. So vibrato off. So let's have a listen to this. Guitar all on full, and on the bridge pickup to start with. Neck pickup. In between. I'll see how it cleans up on some of the more gritty sounds. So let's put it on one of the, let's have a look at one of these crunch presets. So Blues Swamp Vibes. So this one's got the vibrato on. So it's got the bright switch and the vibrato on. So let's back the volume off a little bit, see how that sounds. Got the bass rolled right down on that one. This one, Bluesy Room. Now this, I like these room settings you got on these because it, you know, even if you're on the headphones, it makes it feel like you are actually playing, you know, kind of with an amp behind you, which is much more forgiving, especially when you're trying to sort of feel like you're playing, really playing, rather than just playing into your computer. Let's back that off. Let's put it in the middle. Back them both down to about 6. Cleans up really well. Nice, bright and chimey. What's this one do? Because there's no reverb on this amp either. I've got reverb on that one. Modern Rock Studio. Back it off again. Small punchy. Oh yeah, it's got the middle right up, bass right off, volume on 10. If you had this on at this volume on a real amp, it would be absolutely deafening. I always like to use the presets. I'll always start with the presets because the people who designed this, they've gone through and they've spent ages doing it. There's no point reinventing the wheel. I mean, I know how to get a sound out of one of these amps, but these people know how to work the plug-in. So what else? What have we got here? Vintage. Let's have a look at that. Oh, that's a lot of the same things. Roadhouse Beef. What's this? Oh, that's nice. Hi-Fi Tube Crunch. What have we got here for blues? They're quite good the way they sort you can't see it on here, but the way they sort the presets, they've got all these kind of tags like rhythm, vintage, warm, and you click on them, and obviously you get the same thing. It's coming up over and over again, but it's a really handy way of getting a kind of sound you're after quickly. Now there's one here called Dimed. I tried this one. So basically it's everything on 10. I mean, these amps were designed to sort of be as clean as they could get them, but so you can only really make them drive like that when you've got them on full volume. But you can still hear the characters of the guitar because it's not that much drive, even though this is the amp running completely flat out. It's not that driven, really, even with this humbucker guitar. Nice. Right, Let's Rock. What's this one? Again, it's on volume on 10. What's this? Jazz Club Vibes. Nice clean sound. And it's quite good. They balance the output level in the preset. You can see in the top right there, the output level's balanced, so all of the presets are of a similar volume. So on the ones where they're whacking the volume up, so you're getting lots of gain, they're bringing the output down. So if you're going through all the presets, they're all at a similar volume rather than jumping about all over the place, which is a nice touch. Right, let's try it with some single coils. So the first thing that kind of springs to mind with me with the Strat is to kind of get see what they've got in terms of a Stevie Ray Vaughan type sound, because he would use a clean amp. Saying that, he would tend to use the amp like mine as the distorted bit, and then he'd have his Dumble or his Marshall Major as the clean bit. But let's see what this sounds like. I think I've got the tone control turned down then. Right, let's set it to blues. Let's see what we've got. Let's click the blues tag. Bluesy room. Sounds nice. Let's put it on this default one again, like I started on the Les Paul. It's quite clean on this guitar. It was a bit driven with the Les Paul. See what Brighton... Oh, classic funky vibes. What's this one? That's nice. What else we got here? Desert Highway Vibes. Bright and chimey. Can hear the character of the guitar so well that Strat and Les Paul sound completely and utterly different on this. On some amps you've got loads of gain, they can start to sound more similar. They never sound exactly the same, but let's try dimed. Let's rock. Just makes you want to play in different ways, these different sounds. Let's try what have I got for country here. Small and punchy. Oh, actually, let me get rid of this blues tag. Right, this is just the country settings. Oh, they're a bit similar to the blues ones. Swirly room. What's this? Oh, vintage clean. Let's try this. So there we go. That's a kind of walkthrough of it. There's not loads to show on here, because it hasn't got a lot of different stuff. It's got basically you've got the EQ and the volume that gives you the amount of drive and the characteristic of the sound, and then you can turn the vibrato on and off. In fact, let me just as one more thing, let me just show you what the bright switch does, because that's quite a major part of the sound, particularly on my amp. So that's without. Let's put it on. It's less extreme than it is on my amp. When I put it on my amp, it's like, oh, you have to back the treble off quite a lot. But now off. So I think it's like a presence control, but a kind of fixed amount. But anyway, there we are. That's a little walk through some of the presets. But there you go. Hope that was useful. Hope that gave you a good idea of what this new plugin sounds like. Go and get it while it's free until the end of October. I really recommend it. I think it's going to be great. I'm going to find this really useful. I do struggle to find nice sort of chimey, clean sounds. I've got loads of different guitar presets, but this one I think is really good. I'm going to enjoy using this. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll bring out new videos at 7 PM UK time every Friday. So I hope to see you next week.